Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Would you please rise with me for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Posey, would you call the roll?
Yes, Madam Supervisor. Trustee Bussineau?
Here.
Trustee Krzminski?
Here.
Trustee Nevers?
Present.
Trustee Smith?
Present.
Treasurer Goodhue?
Here.
Clerk Posey here. Supervisor Dunn?
Here. Thank you. Next, we have approval of the agenda items with any corrections. I believe we have a couple.
Yes, we have 4 proposed add-ons. Under consent agenda, item D1, request to approve partial site development bond release for Wolverine Country Club Estates Phase 2. Under regular agenda, item number 8, request authorization to extend offers of employment. Item number 9, request to advance employees from probationary status. And under closed session, item 12, discussion of written legal opinion regarding township rights relative to probationary period for employees. Closed session per MCL 15.268H. That's all I have.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Yes, Madam Chair, I would like to move to have item 9, the proposed add-on, to take place after proposed add-on number 12.
And that would be? What are you adding on?
No, I would move the proposed add-on number 9 to the after
oh.
proposed item number 12.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you. Anything else?
I'll make a motion that we approve the agenda as amended.
Motion by Ms. Goodhue,
Support.
supported by Ms. Posey, to approve the amended agenda. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed by saying nay. That motion carries. Approval of the bills, as usual. There are 2 bill runs. If you wish an item removed, please indicate so at this time.
Yes, Madam Chair, I move, if there are no issues with either bill run, I move that we approve both of them.
Motion by Ms. Nevers,
Support.
supported by Ms. Goodhue, to approve both bill runs. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed by saying nay. That motion carries. Approval of the previous meeting minutes, those being from February 13th. Are there any additions, deletions, or corrections to the minutes?
Seeing none, I make a motion to approve the previous meeting minutes from February 13th, 2019.
Motion by Ms. Posey,
Support.
supported by Ms. Smith, to approve the minutes from February 13th. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed by saying nay. That motion carries. And then we have the approval of the closed session minutes.
I'll make a motion that we approve the closed session minutes as presented.
Motion by Ms. Goodhue,
Support.
supported by Ms. Nevers, to approve the closed session minutes from February 13th. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed by saying nay. That motion carries. The consent agenda, this is routine. They are matters that come before the board on a regular basis. But if you wish to discuss an item on the consent, please indicate so at this time.
Hearing none, I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Motion by Ms. Goodhue,
Support.
supported by Ms. Nevers, to approve the consent agenda. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed by saying nay. That motion carries. Next, we have public comments, and this would be on agenda items only. If you wish to speak, please come to the podium, state your name, and remember there's a 3-minute time limit. Seeing no one, we will move on to new business, and this is a water and sewer request to purchase a compact Excavator with the attachments. Mr. Wanglund.
Thank you, Supervisor Dunn and board members. Tonight, Water and Sewer is in front of you requesting permission to purchase a compact excavator. This will be an E20 Bobcat compact excavator with various attachments that are outlined in your memo. This will be in the amount of $30,706.60. This will be through the vendor called Bobcat of Motor City East. And I might point out that we did demo 3 different models. This was the model of choice, that also this vendor does participate with the My Deal program. So that makes this price very attractive. So recommending approval of this. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Wanglund?
Madam Chair?
Yes.
Mr. Engelland, can you please explain why you need to purchase this? You did it in our department head meeting, I think.
Several items I think this will be beneficial with. As our infrastructure gets older, we find ourselves in the rear yards doing a lot of repairs, which i.e. is handwork. This excavator has the ability to narrow the tracks down, which are rubber tracks, and then fit through like a homeowner's gate. And then once you get to the backyard to make that repair, this machine then stabilizes back out, and then we can make the repair. And this will avoid a lot of, in my opinion, sore backs, avoid a lot of hand shoveling. I think it'll be a cost-saving, time-saving piece of equipment. The other thing we do a lot of is repair manholes that end up in driveways. And this piece of equipment will also come with a demolition point, which will break up the concrete. And this will, again, save the employees' backs and muscles, and it'll keep the young guys off the jackhammer, which is always a good thing if we can do that. So, thus the reason for the request.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
No. Madam Chair, if there's no further discussion, I'd like, upon the recommendation of our premier water and sewer superintendent, to go ahead and buy this Bobcat.
Motion by Mr. Krasinski.
Support.
Seconded by Mr. Bussineau to approve this purchase. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed by saying nay. That motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, Board.
Next, we have a request from Human Resources to extend offers of employment in the fire department. Mr. Sorty.
Madam Chair and members of the board, as the board is well aware, the township has basically open hiring for the position of dispatch operators. Our department's recently received 6 applications for the position. Those applicants were given a written test on February 7th. The candidates that passed the written test were interviewed by the selection committee on February 21st. And with that, the selection committee is recommending the following candidates for hire: Kristen Sari, Jennifer Sloan, and Stephanie Van Wagner. So with that, I'd ask for a motion to approve Kristen Sari, Jennifer Sloan, and Stephanie Van Wagner for hire contingent upon successful completion of post-offer pre-hire requirements with a hire date on or after March 18, 2019.
Thank you. Any questions?
Madam Chair, seeing no questions, I'll make that motion.
Motion by Mr. Bussineau,
Support.
supported by Ms. Smith, to extend offers of employment in the fire department as requested. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed by saying nay. That motion carries. Thank you. Number 9 has been moved, so this brings us to public comments. This is on 9 non-agenda items. If you wish to speak, please come to the podium, state your name for the record, and remember there's a 3-minute time limit. I don't see anyone. Very well, then we will move on to supervisors' comments. I was informed by the Parks and Rec director that the DIA will be bringing its Inside Out program here. We had this 2 or 3 years ago, and it was very well received. Several paintings will be placed in Macomb Corners Park at various locations, and it will run from July through October. Mr. Assorti, you had the Health and Wellness Challenge. Would you like to elaborate on that?
Madam Chair and members of the board, I was hoping there'd be more people in the crowd like normal for this tonight, but as everyone's aware, over the past few years, there have been significant increase in health and wellness trends. In fact, Apple listed self-care as the app trend for the year best of 2018. Despite the upward trend in health consciousness, factors like stress, busy schedules, constant multitasking make it difficult to find time to focus on wellness goals. Research has shown that promoting health habits to employees is an effective way to benefit both employer and employee. Wellness programs improve employee health behaviors and can therefore help reduce elevated health risks and healthcare costs. Effective wellness programs can create a culture of health and encourage coworkers to join together as teammates working towards a common goal. These programs have also proven to increase productivity and decrease absenteeism. In January 2019, our department rolled out a health and wellness competition. We were excited to have 26 members of our staff participate. This was designed to provide opportunities for employees to set their own goals and act on wellness-related goals. Basically, what we did is we asked the employees to, one, identify the goal that they wanted to achieve, update us on that process, and then advise us of the results. I met with the 3 elected officials, and you guys can speak up, but I think we were all pretty excited about how energetic and excited all the groups are participating. So with that, and after conferring with the 3 elected officials, we've got a couple of specific awards that we'd like to give. So we have Cindy Blank. We're going to award the Creativity Award for unique wellness goal and a creative presentation. Kim Patterson, Karen Goodhue, and Carl DeAndrea, we're going to provide the Dedication Award for making sure that they followed through and they went through with their challenge and completed all the way to the end. Team, I always thought this, team consisting of Crystal Sorori, Rachel Pointer, and Peter Castone, the All-Inclusive Award for a wide range of goals capturing all aspects of wellness. And we have some small awards for them to display on their desk to show to the other employees their participation. And with that, though, we had one group that was quite honestly a little over the top, but did an awesome job. So with that, we're going to announce that the Macomb Township Fire Department Station 4 personnel won the award for this year, and we have a plaque for them, Chief, if you want to come up and get it to display at the station. I'll be happy to provide you guys anything you want. They supplied our department with weekly report, including pictures, charts, and stats on each of the employees and what their goals were from a physical perspective and what they achieved. So it was fun to see it. So thanks, Chief. Thank you. Hopefully next year this will continue to catch on, and I know the teams that participated were happy in how it turned out. So it's always a good thing when we get to work together.
Thank you for doing that. That's all I have. Ms. Posey?
I have nothing.
Ms. Goodhue?
I have nothing either.
Any trustees' comments?
Madam Chair, I'm just going to keep it short tonight. I just want to, I think all residents and all board members know that we've had kind of a rough winter. Some of it unexpected in late January, early February. I just want to thank the Macomb County Department of Roads for keeping us safe, for all their workers, all the plow drivers, all those who deliver salt to our roads. I know it's not easy. I know you're working sometimes when we're sleeping, but I just want to thank you. I have been able to, and I'm sure most of you and most of the crowd has been able to drive on some safe roads 90% of the time. So kudos to the Department of Roads.
And I might add to that, thank you to the Water and Sewer Department guys who come and clear our parking lot and salt and take care of us here at the office. Thank you. Anyone else? Very well, we have 3 items to discuss in closed session. We need a motion to adjourn to closed session.
Madam Chair, I'll make that motion to go into closed session.
Motion by Mr. Krasinski,
Support.
seconded by Ms. Goodhue to go into closed session. Ms. Posey, would you call the roll?
Yes, Madam Supervisor. Trustee Krasinski?
Yes.
Treasurer Goodhue?
Yes.
Trustee Bussineau?
Yes.
Trustee Nevers?
Yes.
Trustee Smith?
Yes.
Clerk Posey, yes. Supervisor Dunn?
Yes. We are adjourned to closed session.
Hey,
We have returned from closed session. There were 3 items discussed. On item number 10, Ms. Posey, was there any motions on item 10?
That item was for informational purposes only.
Thank you. And item number 11,
That item was for informational purposes only.
and item number 12.
Someone want to make a motion?
Information only.
Information only. And then we will go to the number 9, which was request to advance employees from probationary status. Mr. Sorty.
Madam Chair and members of the board, so what was presented to you tonight was a request for authorization to allow employees advanced from probationary status. So with that, we had 6 employees that are at the current stage. We have, with that, employees 2411, 2412, 2413, and 14 were hired on September 4th, and employee 2416 was hired on September 10th. They're covered under the MTPEA and MAPE agreement. Their probationary period is 180 days. So with approval tonight, their probationary period would be lifted on March 2nd and March 8th respectively. What we typically do is the board approves those contingent on successful completion of the probationary period, so they still have to complete the 180 days. So with that, would be appropriate for, well, I have 2 things for you tonight, but the first thing would be to approve advancement of employees 2411, 12, 13, and 14 from probation as of March 3rd, and employee 2416 as of March 9th, both pending successful completion of the probationary period.
Thank you. Is there any discussion on this?
Madam Chair, I have a question. Mr. Sorty, can you explain what the criteria is that they have to meet in order to pass the probationary period?
The determination, the determination by the board as the employer, whether or not they've met the probationary period or not.
Okay, so is there a process or a procedure in place that indicates to the board, who has, some members don't have any interactions with the employees, so do we go based on the recommendation from a department head? Is there discussion with the department head on their performance that is related back to the board to make that decision?
I'm not sure I'm following you on that.
So how do we go about making the decision on the probationary period? How do the board members that are only here part-time, that don't have interaction with these employees, make this determination? Is it based off of a recommendation from the department head, or what information are they provided to indicate that they've met the criteria for the probation?
Well, typically, the Human Resources Department puts up that the employees have gone through the 180 days, and that we're at the end of the 180-day period. And then it goes in the agenda packet, and then the board at the employer can make that determination whether or not that they've met the terms of that or not. They can also act on any of those employees anytime within the 180 days as well.
Correct. Also, so my question is then, does the HR department communicate with the department heads as to whether or not their feelings of these probationary periods and their job performance? Because the recommendation's coming from you to the board. So I'm just wondering, is there communication with the department heads as
Well, typically, if
with
there's a
regards to their performance?
If there's a problem with their performance, the HR department and the board knows about it in advance of the completion of the 180-day period. So I would say that's communications there, and I would say that the communication, when we present it to the board and the department head says, this is my employee, and nothing happens and there's no contact and the board doesn't, and nothing goes forward with it, I would say that that's the communication as well.
So if they hear nothing from the department head, if HR hears nothing from the department head, that it's assumed that the probationary employees will move forward?
No, there's no blanket set of rules. We could establish some if you'd like there to be some.
Okay,
Well,
I've been told that past practice, when I've asked a question with regards to how a probationary period moves forward from their probation, is that if we don't hear from the department head, then it goes on the agenda in a memo form to the board for approval. So I'm just confirming if that is the practice or not. So I
Madam
understand.
Chair, can I ask a question?
I'm
sorry,
I'm
okay,
still-
okay.
So I just want to
So
understand the practice
Who,
as
can
a
I ask,
department head.
can I ask who provided you with that information?
For past practice?
Yeah.
Your HR specialist.
Okay, so I would ask that you talk to me if you have those kind of questions in the future. And so it's a varying, depending on who the employees are, depending on the work that they perform, depending on whether or not there's problems with them or not. We go through this whole process and put it out there. The packets are presented a week and a half in advance, so everybody's aware of who the employees are. And typically, we find out from the department heads in advance if there's problems anyway.
Okay, thank you.
Our job is to make sure that we advise the board and through putting it on the agenda, the departments, that they're in fact, the probationary period is up.
Okay.
Okay, Madam Chair, so can I ask a question now? So asking a legal question, not past practice, because I'm not sure that we want to follow all our past practices here in the township. Legally, do we have to give any reason why we would not advance a probationary employee? Legally?
Well, if you wouldn't advance it, no.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Are there any motions?
Madam Chair, on the recommendation of Human Resources, please advance the following employees as mentioned, 24, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 16. Was that the numbers, Tom?
11, 12, 13, 14, and 16, correct?
Correct.
Thank you. Is there a second on that
Support.
motion? Supported by Ms. Posey.
Bless you.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed by saying nay. That motion carries. That completes the business.
I still have one more.
Oh,
So,
I'm sorry.
with regard to employee 2410, who was hired on September 4th, 2018, we have a bunch of information that I was gathering regarding them. So with that, I'm suggesting that you table, postpone. You got it right. I harped on you enough to get that. Postpone the approval of the advancement of employee 2410 until the next meeting.
Is there a motion to that effect?
Well,
Madam Chair, I would move on the recommendation of HR on tabling the other
Motion
probationary.
by Mr. Krasinski,
Board?
supported by Ms. Nevers. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed by saying nay.
nay.
That motion carries. That concludes the business for this evening. We are adjourned.